Burt Reynolds is Sharky. The key to a mystery is staring him in the face, but he can't touch it. He can't afford to. And if there was ever a time to look the other way, this is it.
Tell him it's a fix. Tell him there's no way that he can win.
We own you.
He owns you too. You're just too naive to know it.
Nobody owns me.
Nobody leans on Sharky's Machine. Rated R. Now playing. Check newspaper for local listing. Burt Reynolds is Sharky. He's a smart cop, but somebody's in his way.
You're an outcast about to lose that badge of yours.
What he hears, he can't use.
Tell him there's no way that he can win. Do you understand?
What he knows, he can't prove.
Sure. The tapes are gone.
And what he sees, he can't have. But nobody leans on Sharky's Machine. Sharky's Machine, rated R. Now playing. Check newspaper for local listing.
So yes, when is it playing? Indeed. Right, hang on, I forgot. I'll be right back. I gotta go and press play. Entertain the troops, Terence.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Terence McGuana. That's my real name. That's my real channel. And here tonight, Gareth and myself and all of you are going to be watching Sharky's Machine from 1981. Burt Reynolds starring and directing this great 80s cop thriller. There we are.
But yes, welcome, Terence. Welcome back again.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
from
an
the beginning.
honor to be here, man. Absolute honor. Oh, and you got my first videotape. the Three Amigos.
Yes, that's tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. But yes, this is 1981 Sharky's Machine on Warner Home Video from 1981. This is 83. No, I was gutted.
No trailers?
No.
I suppose. So is that an 83 release?
With I guess it's a pre-cert because the sticker's on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, the pre-certs didn't arrive till the certs didn't arrive till 84. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
guessing you know this film too well that you don't need to watch it yourself.
I don't. No, I actually was watching it before we went live.
So yes, a Deliverance production, because this is a Burt Reynolds produced and directed film.
Yes. He only ever did one other film under the Deliverance banner, which was City Heat, which kind of sucks.
It's not as you'd think teaming up with Clint Eastwood in a film and the gangsters, it would be awesome. But
yeah, but he had a terrible injury on set, which ruined that film and subsequent movies after as well.
Yes. Yeah, he was addicted to painkillers and caused marriage breakups and all sorts of stuff, didn't he?
Absolutely. You know, it's funny that he got directing advice from Orson Welles, of all people, and Orson Welles said to Burt Reynolds, the most important shot in any film is the first shot. And I have to say, Sharky's Machine opens brilliantly.
Yes.
The helicopter shot over Atlanta, and then they find him walking with a bag full of money. It's just breathtaking.
Yes, like he said, Burt said it's his Dirty Harry in Atlanta, which also has lots of flying in shots at the beginning and at the end.
I think that undersells it, to be honest, because the character is not like Dirty Harry at all. Besides the fact that he is hot-headed, he does things his way, right? Like Dirty Harry. But he's more emotional. I mean, he cries. There's a scene in it where he cries, for example. Dirty Harry wouldn't cry. Sharky he's I wouldn't say he's an out-and-out hero either. Dirty Harry, to me, I know that there's all this talk about Dirty Harry being fascist and stuff like that, right? I don't necessarily follow that. I think Dirty Harry's he's an avenger. He's a hero. He's more like the gunslinger in the modern times, whereas Sharky he's more of a protagonist. The mistakes that he makes in this film are all The mistakes that he makes in this film are all there to kind of, or because of his ego. I think it's his ego that gets in the way that causes so many things to go wrong, especially this drug bust at the beginning.
Well, yes. So Ian's here. Oh, he's never heard of this one before. It looks interesting. Yes, it's probably
fantastic.
But one of Burt's best films.
Yeah, easily his best that he directed.
Yes,
easily.
But yeah, because he was doing comedies in the late 80s, wasn't he? And then 70s. Then Clint started doing comedies instead of the serious stuff, and then so Burt said he was going to do a Dirty Harry film.
Yeah, well, this was one of his best years, in fact, because he had Paternity and the Cannonball Run and this. I think Paternity, I think if I'm wrong, Cannonball came out first, then Paternity, then this.
Yeah,
they all made money, especially Cannonball. Cannonball was huge, but yeah, Sharky's Machine is it's remarkable.
Josh, not seen this one either. Oh dear, we're not doing very well tonight. Yes,
you need to get on it.
Michael thinks it's a shark film, so
it is.
I am outdoors. You might see a fox appear behind me at some point. He was only 3 doors down earlier.
Rachel Ward.
Ah, yes, the lovely Rachel Ward. She's had a short run as well of big films.
Well, she's brilliant in this. I think she's fantastic in this film. Her acting, and she looks amazing as well. But yeah, I've been reading the novel, and I find this really interesting that this character, Highball Mary, is his name.
Yes.
Right, the heroin dealer. In the novel, he's dressed with a fur coat and platform shoes, because it's actually, the novel itself was set in 1975. Right, because it was released in 78. The novel, William Deal's Sharky's Machine.
Yep.
1975 is where it's set, and he's dressed with like platform shoes and a fur coat.
Like I dressed out.
And Burt Reynolds has changed it so that he dresses like a police officer.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't know if it's to confuse you or not, or who he is.
I think it's meant to hint towards the corruption within the police force.
Yeah.
Because I think this movie kind of shies away from like saying, yeah, this police force is corrupt, but it tells you visually. And and I think that somehow Highball Mary is actually a cop somewhere in a different department. But they don't tell you about it. They just hint towards it, because Burt Reynolds got a lot of help from the city of Atlanta to make this film. It's all filmed there, and I think he kind of tiptoes around the corruption that's in the novel.
Okay.
You know,
the real policeman that turns up in here is the one that does
Smiley.
Is the corrupt one at the end that tries to get him.
Who had a different name in the novel? Smiley had a different name. I can't remember his name, but he had a very boring name, and I think they call him Smiley in this, but so that we remember him.
It's definitely helps remember him,
because I've seen some complaints about this film that when you find out that Smiley is corrupt is when he's hanging around with Holloman, the politician. You see him in a car with him, and someone said, "Oh, that's terrible. They've just spoiled it because we want to find out that Smiley is corrupt later when he's cutting his fingers off, right?" And I think they probably screened it and went, "We forgot who this character is. We forgot all about him." I think that the fact that they remind you that that's this character Smiley, he's important. But this whole sequence is dynamic.
Because Burt's running, jumping, doing somersaults, and you can see.
Yeah, and it's all him. It's all Burt Reynolds, and I can't imagine that you're directing a film, you're starring in the film, and you're doing your own stunts. That is so much pressure.
That is a lot. Yeah, one wrong move and he's
If he twists his ankle, then the whole movie's going to get fucked up, right?
We did have the old 80s car there where one shot of the engine and it explodes.
Yeah. Well, this shit here, right? Watch this maneuver where he's running. That is Burt Reynolds. That's Burt Reynolds
dodging a car and a bus.
Yeah, It's terrific.
His hair, I think so. It's far enough
Yeah, and
back.
this movie he went without the rug for a change. First
Yes.
time since Deliverance, he didn't have a hairpiece.
Fire's going out now.
Because he went on, to promote the film, he went on Johnny Carson without his wig on, and he was like, "This is my real hair," and he actually made fun of himself a little bit,
Yeah, I think everyone was wise to that fact anyway.
Yeah, come on. And the Cannonball was like 6 months prior. That came out in the summer of '81 in the States, at least.
Well, he had up and down. Yeah, Cannonball Run '81, just done Smokey Bandit 2. Well, let's have a look at his '80s. Rough Cut in 1980, which is all right. Smokey Bandit 2 in 1980, and Cannonball Run in '81, Paternity '81, Sharky's Machine '81. Then he did The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, then Best Friends, then Stoke '83 wasn't well. Stoker
No,
Ace.
it started to slide. '81 was his peak, and then it slid from there. Right.
The Man Who Loved Women, Cannonball Run 2, City Heat in '84, Stick in '85, Heat in '86, which isn't bad, it's just
it's not great either.
Malone, which is '87, which is a good one.
I like Malone
for basic action. Rent a Cop in '87, which unfortunately isn't good.
I like he has good chemistry with Liza though.
He does. They don't really do anything with it, do they?
But the movie sucks, yeah.
Switching Channels '88, which I think he was a problem on set with that one. I think Christopher Reeve says. Physical Evidence '89, and '89 he had Breaking In and Old Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, classic! I love Old Dogs Go to Heaven and Breaking In. Breaking In is underrated.
That is a good one, yes.
Yeah, Bill Forsyth, John Sayles. Do you notice this though? Right, the police station in this scene is gorgeous, right? It's a proper police station.
Right.
And then he goes downstairs because now he's demoted to the Vice Squad.
Demoted to Vice. That's crazy.
Yeah, he gets demoted. He gets pushed down to Vice. And if you notice when he's going down the stairs, you see Homicide on the door. So he goes past Homicide to get to Vice. And that plays a pivotal part in the novel. And I think it plays a part in the movie. Because it's all about hierarchy. It's like you've got this department above this department above this department. And it's the same with the prostitutes. Because you've got the street prostitutes and you've got the thoroughbreds. And the thoroughbreds are all organised by this guy in the ivory tower, the big building. So even though Burt Reynolds or any of his his crew, ever talk about this,
I just went past Homicide there at my bit.
You do get the impression that what they want to do is climb up the ladder again. Hence why they take on that case. They take on that case to prove themselves that they are actually the best cops. So they're not just fighting the criminals; they're fighting the department themselves. And I've never seen this play out in any other cop thriller action film other than this. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, they move departments, build precincts, don't they, normally, and then.
Yeah, and it's detrimental. It's detrimental to the whole operation that they're so separate. Because there's a part later on, and we'll get to that scene where they talk about where's Homicide, and they're like, we didn't call them. And in the novel, Brian Keith's character Papa, he actually has a big shouting match with Frisco, played by what's his name?
Good question, yeah.
Charles Durning. With Charles Durning. And in the novel, he has a shouting match with him. He's like, and he explicitly says, we don't want to call Homicide because we want to keep it with us so we can prove to them. And I like that Burt Reynolds has taken that out of the film. Instead of explicitly saying everything, it's done visually. It's done through that it's done in a very subtle way. That's what I love about Sharky's Machine. It has been accused of being boring in the middle part of the film.
Yes, it has.
Right? And I think that's people who say that are misguided, seriously, because there's a lot of subtlety, there's a lot of nuance to this film that you wouldn't expect from an 80s thriller.
Oh, yeah. Because it came out December 18th in America, 81. United Kingdom, in London, it says, in April 1st, 82. So, don't know if you got that.
Right on, because I've got the
Hey!
photo play. Movies and
Oh,
videos from May of 1982. There
fucking
you
hell, bloody
go.
hell. I thought it was going to be a
Sharky's
Playgirl, but...
Machine. So you're right on there. That's the British release.
Ah, lovely. Look at that. Keep that
Yeah.
safe.
May 1982. Right up the top there. Yeah. 70p.
Sold.
With a man with the smiling eyes.
It didn't do well that year, unfortunately. 35 million gross. I'm guessing it probably only had about 8.
It made its money back. It was not a monster hit, but it made its money back. It was a success, but it was a rare thing for Burt Reynolds to get a lot of critical praise, which is what it got. Even Roger Ebert and Vincent Canby of the New York Times praised it, and they're dead on. The reviews get this film, and I'm amazed at how it's not got the. It's not been praised as one of the great 80s thrillers.
No, it's
kind of been forgotten.
I don't think it didn't have much of an impact on VHS. I don't think there's a retail one.
But the strange thing is, even its release on Blu-ray and DVD has been kind of hindered because it was, I don't know what you call it when it's like full widescreen.
Oh yeah.
What is that? It's like 2.31 or something like that.
Something that big, isn't it?
Yeah, it was shot that way and it was released that way. And even on Blu-ray, it's cropped. It's cropped on Blu-ray. It's the best. If you're talking about framing, the best release is the Australian DVD that has the full frame of this film. Right. And in fact, in 1981, when it was released in the theater, love this shot. This helicopter shot.
Yeah, he's doing lots of those in this.
And that's the juxtaposition. You're going from the basement of the Vice Squad to the top of this tower. It's almost like we're in the basement, they're at the top. It kind of has this sort of motif going on.
Yeah. So it made it to, where is it? I saw it a minute ago. Number 17 in the year of 1981 worldwide. Right between Excalibur 18 and Taps at 16. Beaten at number 15 by your favorite, Tarzan the Ape Man.
Oh, yeah, of course. Wow.
Why are we watching that instead?
Sharky's Machine, that's dreadful.
Yes.
Richard Harris's best performance.
Well, American Werewolf in London was 23, so can't be old. Right.
Wow, fuck. But it didn't have that budget though. No. This had quite a healthy budget. It was like 18 mil or something.
Right. That makes sense. But let's have a look at some of the comments.
And that's the girl from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes. The girl with green eyes. His girlfriend that gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
I think you see a lot of her, don't you?
Because the people get a little bit.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Fireworks. There was a big bang then, but.
Oh no.
Right. Yeah, it was far away, so.
What was it?
Oh, there you go.
A lot of people are mystified as to why there's like these karate experts that show up in the film. Well, that's more explained in the novel. The villain Victor has ties to Hong Kong. He has business in there. They give the villain a lot of backstory in the novel, and to be honest, it's rather boring. And I think Burt Reynolds had the right mind of taking that out.
Yeah, isn't the first chapter all about the bad guy?
Yeah, the backstory of the villain, and it's not that interesting. It only gets really interesting when you meet Sharky and his crew.
Ah, yes. Oh, so Primal Fear was his other.
Yeah, that's right. He wrote Primal Fear as well.
Ah.
Round deal. And he's in it. He's in the film as well. He plays Percy, the pimp. Yeah, it's definitely better than any of the Dirty Harry sequels. Right? I mean, I love the original Dirty Harry. I think it's a fucking brilliant film. The Scorpio is still one of my favourite screen villains. Right? But Sharky's Machine is better than the Enforcer, Sudden Impact, Deadpool. Yeah, easily.
Yeah. It's not as fun as those, but yeah, it's certainly a better film. Oh, the US is full frame. Oh dear, shame.
Jesus. Yeah, well, it got released, the Australian one, allegedly. I've not seen it. But in 1981, it got some screenings in 70mm. And New York and Los Angeles screened it 70mm, this film.
Okay.
And it is a gorgeous movie. The cinematography is terrific. I think was it William Fraker is the cinematographer in it. And he's done an amazing job.
If I was still on the same page, right.
Yeah.
So yes, Burt Reynolds, yeah, he was. I guess his comedies like Struck Rate and all that, and of Paternity and all the ones he did.
His comedy output kind of overshadowed his dramatic output, which is a shame because he does some great work in this, and I mean, his Lewis and Deliverance just fantastic.
Yes,
in that film.
Let's have a look. So yes, the great Dar Robinson is one of the stuntmen at the end.
Yep.
He also did Stick's Big Fall.
Yep. And played Moki in Stick. I have seen both cuts of Stick. I actually do prefer the director's cut. I think it is a better movie. The fact that they pasted in all these action scenes. That's the woman from Friday the 13th Part 5.
There we go. Michael beat us to it.
Ethel, yeah. Ethel,
I did not notice that, but I can see it now because, yeah, she's looking a lot better.
I've noticed in this scene that she's holding a Karl Marx book in her hand, which kind of explains that why she's like standing up. She's like, why are we getting thrown in the cage and they're looking after these thoroughbred thousands? She just blurts out about all the hookers. And that's the thing in the novel. Charles Durning's character already knows about the Domino character. They've already built that case.
Okay.
Before Sharky arrives, they've already got that set up. And in the movie, they change it so that you see Ethel blurting it out. she has the one that was the lead on the case, though. She has the one that kind of got the information from. So it all matches the same, and it's more dramatic this way.
Rachel Ward, yes.
But yeah, that's William Deal there that's playing Percy.
Oh yes, her pimp, isn't he?
He's the pimp, and he doesn't exist in the novel at all. Right? Even though he wrote it, right? But and I've seen people complain. It's like, oh, we've introduced this Percy character, and then we never see him again. It's like,
he's just
you know. And that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that he's just there for that one moment.
Oh, yeah, it's a firework display, right? Or home one, right? That's all right. Hey, Ramon. Burt decided not to do Terms of Endearment, which Mickelson won an Oscar for, and said he did Stroker Ace. He had a lot of bad decisions in the.
It was written for him. James L. Brooks also wrote Starting Over, which was a film with Burt Reynolds a few years prior. James L. Brooks had wrote that script, and so he'd worked with Burt Reynolds before, so he wrote that character in Terms of Endearment for him, not just like he turned it down. It was written for him. And he actually found out years later that when he spoke to James L. Brooks, he said, "You know, if I would have said, 'Could you hold on for me?' Would you have held on for me?" And he said he would.
Oh,
So he could have went
yeah.
off and made Stroke or Ace and then come back and make Terms of Endearment, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
it was a big mistake.
Yeah, Malone is okay. It's a solid like canon fare, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like a canon film, Malone, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Heat was remade with Jason Statham about 10 years ago now. But yes, Cop and a Half is definitely his best film. But yeah, he hated Boogie Nights of all the acclaim it got him in the 90s. Crazy. But yeah, he did a Universal Soldier sequel.
Yeah, he's done some embarrassing shit. I mean, I feel bad for Burt Reynolds in the 90s and 2000s.
Have you seen that last film he did? What was it called?
I did when the last movie star. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
It was nice. It wasn't
nice.
great, but
It wasn't a great
nice.
film. It was just nice that he was looking back at it.
It's like a kind of, it was a Burt Reynolds tribute act. But yeah, here we are, and they're walking downstairs past Homicide again. That's what I'm saying. They maintain this hierarchy kind of structure within that department. And it's detrimental. It's like they don't trust each other. It's like these departments won't work together, and that's what, in a way, you kind of think that's how crime is able to fester so successfully.
Wow, yeah.
But yeah, is it Robert Libertini as Nosh? He's fantastic in this movie. He really is.
Yeah, don't get attached to anyone in this.
Yeah, film. I know. And they give them so much more backstory in the novel. In the novel, it's that him and Sharky, they were in high school together, and they used to steal cars together and stuff. Those guys are real buddies, you know.
Yeah.
And he's fantastic. And I think this whole scene kind of plays into how brooding Burt Reynolds was at that time, because he just made Paternity, which honestly is a lousy comedy. I didn't like it.
No.
But right, where he's kind of like wanting to have a son and all that in the film.
It's really weird, some of the films
it does suck, right? And I think this scene kind of plays into it as well, that Burt Reynolds at the time, as a celebrity, wanted to have a child. And it's funny because prior to this film being released, some network in America did a tribute to Burt Reynolds where they brought all these celebrities together and they all just sort of kissed his ass. And one of them that was there was his future wife, Lonnie Anderson.
Ah, yes.
And allegedly, well, Burt Reynolds said this in one of his biographies, is that when he went up to kiss her, right, she whispered in his ear, "I want to have your baby." She'd clearly been watching his fucking movies going, yeah, this guy is so brooding right now, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, according to this, he directed 15 Feet Things, Episode of Hawk in 66, Gator in 76, which is a good film, The End in 78, which...
I like The End. Yeah,
I haven't seen that for a while. It's Sharky's Machine at 81. It's good. Stick in 85. Like you said, the director's cut. I tried to make a video of all the cuts, but there's like 1,000. It's not like an extra scene there. It's
it's been butchered.
Yeah.
And thanks to the BBC that it exists.
It was shown on BBC back in 1980, and some guy recorded it and kept the tape for like 40 years.
Exactly. Did he not direct an episode of Amazing Stories?
Amazing Stories. Alfred Hitchcock presents 3 episodes of BL Striker. The new WKRP in Cincinnati, an episode of that. Harlan and Merlin, a TV movie in 93. The Man from Left Field, a TV movie from 93. 36 episodes of Evening Shade. I didn't mind Evening Shade. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a big hit as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time, but yeah. Hard Time, a TV movie in 98. The Last Producer in 2000. And Death of a Salesman, a short in 2006.
He was no slouch, but I just think this is his best work, though. This movie is his absolute best.
Yes, great to see Brian Keith in a film with Reynolds, another larger-than-life actor who I admired. Brian Keith as Captain Jack O'Connor in The Mackenzie Break is a brilliant film. That's the
Yeah, he
trouble.
was
It's
in
all
Hooper as
character
well.
actors.
He played Sally Field's dad in Hooper as well, and
Of course he did.
he was also in that great show Hardcastle in McCormack.
Yeah, I love Hardcastle. I love the car, the Coyote.
Yeah,
I've got a few versions of it in the loft.
amazing.
Yes, yeah. A 90s thriller called Man Naked.
Oh yeah, did he not play a villain in it? Finally, never seen it. I tend to avoid a lot of the real garbage that he did just for the money to pay off
Yes.
his divorce. You could tell when he was doing that.
Poor sods. They bring on themselves usually, don't they?
But that's the thing. Even in his early days, Burt Reynolds, when he was on Johnny Carson, he would tell the truth. He had a film out, and he would be like, "It's a film that would show on airplanes." That's what he'd say. It's a film they show on airplanes because they know you can't leave. Right? He was straight up about his movies. Right? Even when he made like Cannonball Run, he was like, I'm not going to be going out buying a tuxedo for this film. That's what he would say. Right? He didn't say it was bad, but he's not buying a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Right? He was quite honest, and I think that's why what made him a big star is that people trusted him.
Good old boy.
He told the truth. He'd say, he told the truth about his career. He knew his shortcomings.
Same with Roger Moore. He always joked about his acting.
See, that's the thing in the novel as well. That the villain Victor, he his whole plan is to build a giant amusement park in Atlanta, and I've read somewhere that the ending of the novel. I've not finished it. I'm halfway through the novel right now. And apparently the end of the novel ends in a big giant amusement park that he's built. And this movie doesn't allude to that. They really push the villains into the back of the film in this. And I think it's just because the novel is quite vast and they really want to kind of get to where they're going in the movie. And I so far, I agree with all their choices. I think they've cut the right things.
So a police shootout that goes from the basement to the top again in this. But yeah, Burt Reynolds, he was the biggest star in the 70s and 80s when I was watching. Yeah, like you said, Eastwood and Bronson didn't do interviews or chat shows or anything, did they?
No.
So yeah, he was all.
Well, they did, but they did it. They did it occasionally. Jack Nicholson was the most elusive when it came to interviews. Yes. Right, I think he did like 2 interviews in his whole career. Right, and he never did like talk shows like Burt Reynolds did. Burt Reynolds was an absolute whore when it came to that shit. he did say that that's what made his career, because whenever he had a movie out, he'd go on Johnny Carson and it would just, people would go see it.
7 Miles and Reynolds. It's not a bad little number.
Oh, are we talking about the Man Who Loved Cat Dancing?
There it is. That's right. I missed that. Yeah,
that's a great movie. And the score, John Williams did the score to that film, and he recorded it in a week because he had to replace another guy. And the funny thing is, if you can buy, I mean, it's rare to get, right, but you can buy the Man Who Loved Cat Dancing score, and it includes the original score and the John Williams one. So it actually includes the score that they rejected. What's that?
Yes, I think I've ever seen Cop and a Half or Cop and a Half 2.
It's yeah.
I remember it coming out, and I didn't go to see it in the cinema.
It's not a bad. I mean, it's one of those. It's that post Home Alone children type movies.
Yeah, if it wasn't a dog with Top Dog with Chuck Norris or K9 or
what's that?
It was kids helping the cops. But yes,
I do like that this movie does. See, people say that this part of the film is boring. I don't. I think there's Burt Reynolds, and it shows what a generous actor he was. Is that he would give like Robert Libertini or Bernie Casey later on. He would give them their own little scenes where they're allowed to kind of build more of their character, and I appreciate that. I want more of it. I agree with Roger Ebert when it says like a bad film isn't long enough. A bad film is too long, and a good film is not long enough. And I feel that way with Sharky's Machine. I want more. I want to see more of these characters in the film.
Right. Yeah, especially this dancing at the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone that says that the middle part of this film has no dick.
Yes, it has been compared to Rear Window, and what's it? A lot of it's taken from, was it Laura?
Laura, yeah, Otto Preminger, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Even
but,
chunks of dialogue.
yeah. Do you have to blur out when Rachel Ward is jigging about?
She's got clothes on.
Yeah, I know she's got clothes on, but it's still pretty fucking.
Well, yeah, I did. What did I put? I had a clip of aerobics, sexy aerobics from films. They're all clothed and everything, but then that was flagged when I used it. It said adults only. I thought they're all just wearing clothes. It's just aerobics.
Yeah, and you're just learning how to exercise, right? It's not like you're wanting to have a wank.
Yes, standing at the back, firming up.
Nonsense.
But yes. But yeah. Ramona is great. One of my father's favorite Burt films back then.
See, that's interesting. In the novel, she actually speaks to Sharky. She actually has dinner with him.
Oh, okay.
Even while he's spying on her. And in the novel, he's not photographing her. He's in another room in the same building, but he's only listening. He's only listening, and she meets him at a supermarket. Well, he's following her to the supermarket, and he strikes up a conversation with her, and she invites him back to have soup with her. So she just thinks of him as the elevator repairman. She doesn't know him as a cop. So they have, which is weird. The movie makes it creepier that he's spying on her the whole time, and he's getting more attracted to her.
Yeah.
Whereas in the novel, it's actually a bit softer because he's actually had a conversation with her. He's actually got to know her better.
He falls quite hard for someone he just watches.
Yeah, which is a bit, and I've said this to someone as well about this movie, is that only Burt Reynolds could pull that off. Only Burt Reynolds could pull it off that he's not a creep, right? Because you put James Woods in that part. It's a different fucking movie, isn't it? Right? And that's he uses his stature as a celebrity to kind of I don't know, sort of change the character. I think his stature as a celebrity it circumvents your expectations of this character. If it were James Woods, it would be a different film. But with Burt Reynolds, then it's kind of, why am I creeped out by Burt Reynolds? What the fuck?
So yeah, Sharky was an Warner Orion film. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Co-production.
I think it mentions Orion on the VHS.
Oh, Prince of the City is a great movie. I love all I pretty much call it the Sidney Lumet New York police corruption trilogy. Serpico, Prince of the City, and Q&A. All great movies. When people go into Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, that. Sidney Lumet's corruption. Yeah, as Stakeout, you can see Stakeout took a bit from this.
All Men at Work, yeah, spying on the neighbours.
Men at Work. Wow. I haven't seen that in decades.
Don't touch another man's fries.
I'll just be right back. I need to go for a pee-pee.
Too much information. I thought you were going while you were sitting there. Right, I'll catch up on some of the things. My vid copy went black. Yeah, when was Orion bought out by MGM? Because was it like RoboCop 3 took 2 years to get released because it was early 90s, wasn't it? I used to have the preset vid. I think it's still missing some brief nunchuck bits towards the end. Oh, we'll have to keep an eye out for that because of course it would be. But Rob's here. Me and Rob will be doing Three Amigos tomorrow night. Yes. So yeah, so many of these early 80s movies had aerobic dancing as well. Was it Jane Fonda did have the best-selling video ever with her aerobics, and then she had about 20 others after that. Right, where's the moon? Oh, it's behind the house. No foxes yet, so we're all right. But yeah, it does. This is 40 minutes in, so yeah, we've just spent a lot of time watching her. So thank you. Yeah, Wildcard by Statham. Thank you, Ramon. I'll put Cop and a Half in the poll for 20k. That's might be a while away though, so I'm all right. Let's have a look. Oh yes, still a fair bit to go. But yes, it takes its time. Those Rear Window bits build the characters exactly. Because someone reviewed it in the IMDb and said if they cut half an hour off, it'd be a good film. Yeah, they just want it to get straight to her being shot in the face. So there's an interview with Charles Bronson and Lee Marvin. Nice. He's
Lee
back
Marvin, Charles Bronson.
Yeah,
What's
what was that film?
Death Hunt.
Must be. That's the one I couldn't think of.
Yeah, where Lee Marvin looks completely sozzled in the interview, and Charles Bronson's just sitting there fucking sober as a judge. Yeah.
See, don't spoof me, because if you say what's behind me, I'll go, oh, nothing. And then there's a fucking fox leaning on my shoulder. I'll be very upset.
I won't be doing that shit. Don't worry.
Yeah, the chat will.
Mm.
Can't trust these guys.
Oh, easily. See, that's where I take offence to what Quentin Tarantino said, when he's like, "Oh, when directors get older, they get crapper, they get worse." You know, and he used Billy Wilder as an example, right? But then you look at Sidney Lumet, and then you look at like Before the Devil Knows You're Dead with Sidney Lumet. Fuck you, Tarantino. You cannot fucking touch Sidney Lumet. I'm sorry.
You can't paste him.
He can't. He does not deserve to be in the same conversation.
Surely he's that old now.
I'm sorry, right? Sidney Lumet was an absolute legend. And he isn't. I'm sorry. He isn't.
Not my cup of tea either.
He's like, Tarantino is more like a movie DJ.
Ow, you know? Yes.
He mixes other people's work and he makes palatable stuff, and it's
the
fun.
Fatboy Slim of movies.
Yeah. Yeah, Fatboy, that's
I'm coding that.
Right on, Fatboy Slim of movies. Right. I mean, he even used, not only did he use Street Life from Sharky's Machine,
yes.
He used the version of Street Life that they made for Sharky's Machine, because the Crusaders had a hit with this song in 1979 with
yes.
Randy Crawford singing, but Burt Reynolds got them to redo it, the whole song, with not the Crusaders, they were not involved, but Randy Crawford still sang.
Yes,
and he got Doc Severinsen to score the song. So the version that's on the soundtrack to Sharky's Machine is the one that's in Jackie Brown, right? So there you go. It's like, it's everywhere. And that's one thing I really appreciate about this film is the soundtrack. They got some real jazz legends. Sarah Vaughan,
let's have a look.
Chet Baker are playing on this.
My Funny Valentine.
Yeah, it's an incredible jazz album, and it's a shame because it's only ever been released once. They brought out a soundtrack when it came out, and they re-released that same soundtrack again like 20, 30 years later, but they've never released the full score. The full score to this, and the score's wonderful. I particularly love the musical cue that when she gets shot and Sharky is looking through the door, that musical cue is just, it's perfect. Mm-hmm. It just works perfectly.
There's a track called Sexercise by Doc Severinsen.
Doc Severinsen was the musical maestro on the Johnny Carson show. Yeah, so the Tonight Show.
Joe Williams, Sarah Vaughan, love theme. Sarah Vaughan and Joe Williams before you finished Tasby.
It's funny that the love theme is actually played when he's watching her have sex with the pimp, or was she stripping off for the pimp? Yeah. Right? So does that mean that Sharky is really a cuck? That's his thing. His thing is being a cuck. Because when he actually gets to be with Domino later in the film, He's mean as hell to her. He's a complete dick to
Yeah.
her. But when she's with other people, he's like,
Oh, bless.
she is a dancer. You know?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I think his thing is that he's a cock. I think this is the ultimate cock movie.
But what else has she done? What is it? Against All Odds?
Against All Odds. The Thornbirds, which was huge.
Oh, yeah, she did. What's that slasher?
Yeah,
this?
you know.
Night School.
Richard Chamberlain, God rest him.
Yeah, another one we lost. So she's born in Chipping Norton, Oxfordshire, in 1957. Still doing the occasional acting.
And she did do another one with Burt. She did like a remake of Heaven's Gate on TV.
2000 something, wasn't it? What was it?
Yeah, it's like a kind of the Johnson County War or something.
Yes, Johnson County War TV miniseries.
TV movie.
I'm trying to think. It's just the usual 90s sex thrillers, Double Obsession and Double Jeopardy. Of course, she's Queen Isabella in Christopher Columbus: The Discovery. Isn't that the John Glenn one?
Yeah, with Brando.
Yes. How to Get Ahead in Advertising.
Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Of course. How did I not know? Let me suck out that bullet. The Final Terror in 83. Night School in 81. Dynasty. I didn't know Dynasty went back to 81. Bloody hell. She's also a director. Darby and Joan TV show. She's done episodes. Yeah. Unfortunately, she didn't reply to turn up tonight. There she is.
Why did you ditch us, Domino?
It's one of those things where it probably takes about 3 weeks before they reply. But maybe.
See, that's interesting. The scene with Hutchins, what's his name, Hodgkins, and he's like undoing her trousers as she's talking to him, right? In this magazine, they actually show it from the opposite side. They've got like, there we go.
Oh, too much man there. There you go.
Yeah,
That's risque.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of navel gazing there. But yeah, but I always think that's kind of interesting as well, is that he promises her a house. He's like, don't you worry, I've got you this house and all that. And then later on, when she meets Sharky, he already has a house. So you kind of think, is that the kind of is that the deal breaker with him?
Seals the deal with her, yeah.
I don't really feel that she loves Sharky.
I don't. It's a bit quick.
Yeah, I think she's and later on, this pimp Victor, he's saying, that was her art. Don't you get it?
Yes, that's it. Yes,
right. And I feel like Sharky is just treated like another John. Right?
Yeah, she'll just be gone.
I don't trust Domino at all. And not that I dislike her. I don't think she's a bad person. I just think she's trained that way.
Yeah, right? He said he had her since she was 12 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, she ain't gonna change. Right? And the movie doesn't show that Sharky really has a chance with her.
There we go.
And that's what I like about it. There's a lot of empty spaces in this film that you can kind of fill with your own imagination. And I like that. I appreciate that. And there was one part that I was kind of like, where I'm a bit early, because it's when she allegedly gets shot by Henry Silva. All of a sudden, Burt Reynolds realizes that Henry Silva was also watching her.
Yes.
And I'm kind of thinking to myself, what led him to think that?
I wondered that, yeah, because he said, he must have been watching her from that building as well.
Yeah. Thought, and in the novel, I'm at that stage in the novel, right? And in the novel, he wasn't even watching her, he was listening to her. And he comes to the conclusion, and it's not him that actually comes to that conclusion, it's Nosh. Nosh is coming to the conclusion that he was watching her. And it's because they've just figured it out, because how did he know that she was there at that point? Because she just came home. She just came home and then she got shot. And that's so they figured it out that someone must have been watching her for them to know she was she was home. They didn't knock the door. We were listening in. There was no doorbell rang or anything. No, he rings the doorbell, but it's like he knows she's there. So I guess that from reading the novel, it kind of explained it to me. Yeah, that's how they know. Is that yeah.
Yeah, he just suddenly says, "Oh yeah, he was from that window over there."
But yeah, for every sort of what you would perceive as a plot hole in this film, it can be worked out, and I like that. I feel like a detective sometimes when I'm watching it. I'm like, how would that work out? You know, like
Yeah.
for later on when people complain about the kung fu experts that show up out of nowhere, and in the novel, it's quite easily explained that this villain has international connections. He's had like brothels in Hong Kong and places like that. So, you know, for him to have like henchmen from all over the place, you wouldn't put it past him.
So yeah, we're getting lots of shots of inner thighs and
yeah, and the videotape starts going.
Did I get this one off you? I can't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where the love theme plays. So this is like, yeah, you're a total cock, Sharky.
He doesn't like it, but he keeps watching.
And he cries. Yeah, he's got a tear in his eye.
Yeah, she was crying just before she had to go in there, but took a pill. And then,
yeah, Dirty Harry would not be like that. That's why I think it's kind of it's an insult to call it Dirty Harry in Atlanta.
But maybe if they cut out the middle bit, then maybe it's more Dirty Harry would just get straight onto action.
But even in this magazine, Burt Reynolds has been interviewed, and that's what he calls it. He's quite happy to call it Dirty Harry in Atlanta.
Yeah, he called it to
So that was his shorthand way of selling this movie. It was like, yeah, it's Dirty Harry in Atlanta. But I suppose, you know, Dirty Harry made a shit ton of money, so I have some of that.
Always makes me laugh that Reynolds turned down Richard Gere role in Pretty Woman. Could see him get Julia getting on together. Robert's clash with Nolte on I Love You. Yes, I love Trouble Story. Yeah.
I think Pretty Woman would have sucked with Burt Reynolds. Not to criticize Burt Reynolds, but that was lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
it really is. And watching the documentary on Netflix where they were talking about the making of Pretty Woman and how she pretty much begged Richard Gere to be in it. I'm not surprised. They had great chemistry.
How many did they make? 2 or Runaway Bride? Was there a third? Or was that 8? Because that was a massive hit, Runaway Bride. I didn't realise.
Yeah,
I've never seen
they
it.
tried to recreate it. But it was Gary Marshall as well.
Yeah, makes more sense. Yeah, this tape is beautiful for 14.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, is this Sharky's machine gonna fall apart?
Yeah, I had to play it a bit before I put it on. But yeah, they weren't built to last more than a year or so.
That's testament to how unpopular it is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, even the whole Rachel Ward stripping scene was immaculate.
Yes.
That's a rare thing for an old tape. But yeah, Henry Silva is great, and you know he's doing a lot of Italian films up until this point.
He was great. He was in Alligator, of course, and
going back, he was in Manchurian Candidate, Ocean's 11.
Right,
he's a legendary actor. One of my favorite parts is Killer Kane and Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, the pilot episode, and. I really loved it when he turned up in Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai. When he turned up in that, I was like, oh, wow, Henry Silva. And but yeah, I think this film kind of set him out to be the go-to 80s villain. Code of Silence and Nico, a.k.a. Above the Law.
Yeah, Above the Law, as Jesse knows it.
Yeah, he was kind of a go-to
Dick
villain
Tracy
for a short while.
A small part, wasn't it? Amazon Women on the Moon, of course.
Bullshit or not?
Code of Silence, Cannonball Run 2, Escape from the Bronx. That's an amazing film.
Escape from the Bronx.
Chained Heat, Megaforce, Virus Day, the Assassin. Yeah, Buck Rogers as Kane. Boo fuck. I'm gonna watch that. That's called Foxbat. It's also called.
Foxbat, yeah, I've heard of that. Well, one thing I've got to say about this movie, though, they get the characters right. When you read the novel, you're just like, that's exactly what they're like in the movie. There's no different. They are the way they are in the movie.
Yeah,
and you get a little bit of insight in the novel as to why. We know how Sharky ended up in Vice, but you get to find out a little bit about how the other cops ended up in Vice.
Yeah,
because Vice is the toilet of the department. And the one thing is because when he meets Charles Durning's character Frisco, he's like, he was in internal affairs just before he went into Vice, and he was only in internal affairs for 2 weeks. That's all he finds out. So I say, I was in IA for 2 weeks, and then I was in Vice. So you kind of think, why were you in internal affairs for 2 weeks and then you're in Vice, right? Maybe he just couldn't sell out people. He just could not like stick his nose into other cops' business, and that was it. That's what you get. You kind of think, why were you in internal affairs?
Yeah. Ramon wants you back on YouTube with your cannon fodder.
Oh, more cannon. You want me to do more cannon?
No, you can do something you like.
I like cannon. Love cannon. See, the first time I watched Sharky's Machine was about 10 years ago at a friend's house. He put it on for me because it's one of these movies that always escaped me, right? And when I saw this part where you see well, what I perceived at the time, Rachel Ward with her fucking face blown off with a shotgun, right? I demanded that it get switched off. That was just too violent for me. And that's the thing about this movie; it is fucking brutal in parts.
Oh yeah, I think you don't see, was it the Family Guy? What's his name? Tosh, was it?
Yeah, you don't see him getting killed. Yeah,
but you see the lift come up behind him, and
you're just like, oh no, you're doomed.
Bastards. But yeah, why does he scream?
Yeah, Rachel Ward's face blown apart. Even though it's not her, it turns out it was a different woman. But it's fucking brutal, man. Yeah, it really is. And this was right smack dab in the video nasties era, and I'm surprised they let that get passed on the VHS.
Yeah,
because that's brutal. That's more brutal than anything.
That's a hidden dig at me.
That's that. Video tasties suck.
Yes, they showed the TV version. I saw this first time probably in the 80s on TV, but I don't know if it was probably a late night, so it probably wasn't that cut, if at all. But then I hadn't seen it for years.
Well, I saw Deliverance on ITV in the 90s, and that was not cut. I was horrified.
I think it was the Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Diet Coke tremors are normally
break the commercial right after that male rape scene. Why don't we?
Am I running out of wood?
Yeah. This whole sequence where he's like, "Where's homicide?" Right? We didn't call him, and the only that's a shame. Brian Keith. This was his moment to do what he does in the novel, where he goes, fuck it, we didn't call him. Do you know why we didn't call him? Because this is our case, and he goes into a big rant about why Vice should have this case, and it also explains the reason why there's no police line outside the door, because I've seen people complain about this, like there's a fucking hole in the door and there's no police line, and she manages to walk in later without, because they at this point in the book they haven't even told the people that run the building. The people in the building don't even know that this has even happened. They've kept it so hush, because you would expect from the film, right, that they have already made deals with the people in the building. The people in the building don't even know that the cops are even there. They've managed to sort of wriggle their way in, like Nosh. When him and Sharky are trying to bug the apartment, Nosh has convinced the guy that they are who they say they are, that they're there to fix the elevator. So even at this stage, when there's been the murder, the people in the building don't even know there's been a murder.
A murder! Quick,
A
get
murder.
Taggart.
There's been another murder.
There you go.
People from Glasgow, they can't say murder any other way.
No. It's only been, 35 years or 40 years since Taggart started, isn't it?
Legendary.
And how many series did he do? It was only like 1 or 2, wasn't it? Or am I thinking it was more? Just
There were more like TV movies originally. But there was dozens of them with Mark McManus, yeah. And then I never watched it. See, when he died, I stopped watching it. It's like, why call the show Columbo if Columbo's not in it?
Exactly.
That was my excuse.
They could have called it a spin-off.
They could have called it something else. Yeah, they should have named it after the police station and
yeah, right? To fans, you'd know.
Yeah, they just lacked confidence to do that, and that annoyed me. So I've never watched Taggart without Taggart, right? Because it's false advertising to me. It's like, watch Superman and Superman's not in it. What's the point?
Yeah, Superman 3.
Yeah.
But
I actually bought some Johnny Walker whiskey only because that's Superman's whiskey.
So yeah, I wonder if they got paid for that, because what's the one in the thing? Is it JB?
JB, yeah. But that's true. I mean, when he's in that bar in Superman 3, he's drinking Johnny Walker. So, that's why I drink it.
Yeah, so Morse was changed to Lewis. So, yeah, everyone knew that was a spin-off.
Yeah, that's right. They had the decency to call the show Lewis when Morse died, exactly. But Taggart, they kept calling it that, and it just pissed me off.
There were 2 Supermans and Superman 3. Spoilers.
Oh, heavy spoilers.
Hey, Captain's here. Oh, him and Rob will be live at 2 hours tonight.
Yeah.
Don't remember how I got it, but yeah, definitely keep that.
Oh, this sequence is great. With the drug bust, with they find the sort of pill, and then it shows you what it all leads to.
Yeah, very clever.
And you feel that the machine is actually working together. We're out busting heads, trying to solve this case.
Even though it's a homicide. I'm setting myself alight for your entertainment.
I just wish they gave Brian Keith a bit more to do instead of just sitting about eating junk food and like being pissed off that nobody else will eat junk food. Right. But it's kind of interesting earlier on when he's sitting in the police station and he's eating fried chicken with the prostitute. And Charles Darling's like, what is this, a date? Yeah, she's a hooker, right? And it kind of shows that they don't hate the prostitutes. They're indifferent to them. They're just like, this is a job that they have to do.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. A monthly live stream with Terrence of his choice. Oh, there you go. That's certainly a good idea. If he wants to, he's welcome to. Say no more. Superman isn't Superman until halfway through Superman 3, to be fair. There you go. The pimp guy Casey flings over the railing was in the video Nazi cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, right. Yeah, so he was the cannibal, one of the cannibals. That's amazing. He looks so meek in this because he looks scary as fuck in that movie. Yeah, you're right. That's him.
I haven't seen that.
I love Cannibal Apocalypse. It's so much fun.
I keep forgetting. The guy here
is fantastic.
The black cop is from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures Their Teacher, isn't he?
Oh, Bernie Casey. Yeah, he was a football hero as well. You find that a lot with Burt Reynolds because Burt Reynolds was a sort of failed football star.
Oh, yes.
That a lot of his co-stars were quarterbacks and, whatever.
Oh, he's in the
Bernie Casey had a history with American football. But he's brilliant in this. He absolutely steals every scene he's in.
Yeah.
Especially, it's great when Burt gives him that scene that's past now, where he gets to talk about how he disappeared. Right? That feels like a Tarantino kind of scene as well. I feel that feels more like something that would be in a Tarantino film. It's so weird, and it's also dialogue driven. I love that scene. And it's so unusual for Bernie Casey to have a scene like that in a movie at that time as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds as well. Of course, he was Lambda.
Yeah, we're not sure. It's definitely there was a Blu-ray, but it might be out of print.
It's out on DVD and Blu-ray, and it looks good, but it could look better. It's still cropped. It's meant to be, I think, 23.1 is the full frame, and it's never been released in that, and it needs a remaster as well, because the Blu-ray looks a bit scratchy in places. It needs a 4K is what it needs, because there's some gorgeous cinematography in this movie, and Vinegar Syndrome, I'm sorry, they're putting out some absolute dreck.
I think they're running out of ideas, aren't they?
Who was crying out for Sliver? I'm sorry. Sliver was not
the director's cut.
Right?
No, it wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good a movie, right? Sharon Stone was hot as fuck, right? No doubt, but the movie sucked. And
it wasn't good.
Navy SEALs, my God, why Navy SEALs gets a 4K?
Get off my channel.
No, I can't stand Navy SEAls. I've tried several times over decades to watch it, and I
haven't seen it in a long while, but I saw it in the cinema when it came out.
Oh.
So there you go. They kept the show Taggart as a tribute to Mark McManus.
Oh yeah, sure they did. They had no idea. They could just came up with something better. I'm sorry.
I am setting the place on fire. It's getting very hot over here. It's also available as a 3-pack DVD with Hooper and Stroker Ace.
I love Hooper, but Stroker Ace sucks. But it's okay to have on if you're tidying the house. Hooper.
Yeah, I used to love it back in the day as a child, but then I see the problems. Isn't that Lanny's in that as well?
Yeah, it's his wife, Lanny's Anderson, Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah, they
and they rob you at the end, especially when it comes to the actual stock car racing. The footage is like stock footage, literally stock footage, and it's the wrong color of car. It's like you see the color of car that Stroker is driving, and when you look at the footage that they're using, it's a totally different car. I don't know what Hal Needham was on, but he was really losing his touch by that point. Definitely, it's easily. I mean, I haven't seen Megaforce, but it's easily his best film that I've seen. But I do want to see Megaforce. I hear it's brilliant.
It's not brilliant, but it's funny.
It's from the producer of The Godfather. It's got to be perfect.
From the director of Cannonball Run, isn't it? Hal Needham.
Yeah.
I think this might be his last film, is it?
No, he kept, I think, what was it, Body Slam? It's another one he did. And he also did one with Burt Reynolds as a TV movie. One of those, I don't know, Hard Boiled Hotel or something it's called. Hard Time Hotel.
I gotta look that up.
See, he also did Rad as well. Yeah, Rad.
Oh, of course, Rad.
Someone mentioned Rad.
The
Vinegar Syndrome of that goes for a lot of money for some reason. I don't know why.
I never saw Rad. I saw BMX Bandits all the time, but I never saw Rad when it came out.
Me too. I'm a BMX Bandits kind of guy.
Mr. Brian Trenton Smith.
Oh, your man. That's that.
My mate. Yeah. So,
he's great.
Stunt. He is. He's bless him.
I know. It was sad to hear about Weinshauser.
Yeah. Someone was in the. Well, they had made a documentary about him, but.
Yeah, I hear they were making one while he was, and then obviously
there were fundraiser for it.
Campaign.
Oh yeah, there was the Bandit TV show, wasn't there? He did Hal Needham.
Yeah, there's some lousy Bandit TV movies. Don't want to see that. Sorry.
But yeah, Street Luge, I was a short. Hard Times, Hostage Hotel was the last thing. And I did not realize he was here until 2012 or something. I thought it was 80s he died, but yeah, I was way off. But yeah,
This strikes me. I've not got to this part in the novel, right? But this strikes me as a scene that's not in the novel. This looks like Burt Reynolds being quirky. Yeah,
yeah, that just
the baseball scene where they're all sort of like
why are they
giving
there?
exposition all at one time, and they're like, "Right, your turn to give some exposition." It's kind of, I don't know. This scene kind of if I had to pick a scene I didn't like, this is the one that's kind of jarring.
Yeah, they go to a baseball game. I guess to hide out.
Yeah, Charles Darning's like looking to get some update. I don't hate it, right? It's cute, but it's just
just go to each one and
and for some reason he hates Nosh. He just hates this guy. He never explained why he doesn't like him. He's just like, you're an idiot.
No, I don't know if it's the illegal wiretaps or whatever they got. I think they say get 9 out of 10 approved, and they do the 10th one with Nosh off the books.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't like that scene. This is my least favorite scene in the movie, but it doesn't. It's over and done, right? Move on. It's fine.
You can mention anyone, Roger, if you want. He's the one that had the Bond information, where they're remaking Man with the Golden Gun with Henry Cavill. Oh, sorry, Josh. I shouldn't have said that.
Sorry, I just like. You're picking one of the worst Bonds, and honestly, Henry Cavill.
Well, maybe they're going to make it excellent. Obviously,
he's a piece of cardboard. I'm sorry, I don't really like him. Give me. I'm enjoying this idea that people are saying that Pierce Brosnan should get one more shot. Yeah,
I can see an old man Bond, but not an action.
Yeah, and if it'd be fine.
Same with Lethal Weapon 5, isn't it? They're in the 70s and 80s. They're not going to be doing the same stuff. So everyone's going to be disappointed.
Because he was the Bond that was kind of, he had the sort of wool pulled out from under him, right? So give him one more shot, I say, and I think it'd be fine. It doesn't need to be the most explosive film. It just, it would,
they could get away
with it on a budget.
They could, $50 million budget.
Yeah.
Real location.
TV movie doesn't even need to be released theatrically. Stick it on Amazon, and I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to see the front door here because she doesn't notice.
Yeah, she doesn't notice. They have covered up the door, but they've not put up any police tape because homicide have not been notified.
I guess there you go.
Because a lot of people complain, they're like, "Oh, how dumb is she? She just walked right through all that police tape, and there's no police tape because homicide have not been notified, right?" And she's holding a bag of like groceries.
Yeah,
and she's walking in and she's singing a song. She's not. She's
on autopilot.
Yeah. And he's a complete cock to her. All of his pining for her, right?
Yeah,
he's just an absolute asshole to her. And I don't know. I kind of put it down to like he cannot separate himself from being a cop.
We don't know much about him, really, do we?
She is a hooker, so he has to mistreat her. He has to treat her like the one he stuck in the cage earlier on, And it's interesting. It's interesting the way that Sharky behaves in these scenes. That he's not a good guy, not a hero. he's a very flawed human being.
Fortress. Yeah, when I saw Fortress, I thought of the Albert. Is it Albert Pune one with the exploded bellies and Vernon Wells and?
I've seen the it's on the X rental of. Have you got the X rental of Commando?
No, not yet.
It's trailered on that Fortress. We get the dirty bastards. We get the dirty bastards. It's like she's like a school teacher and she's got all these kids and they're attacked by a bunch of crazies, and then they fight back. That's
damn. I killed my fire.
Yeah. It was trailered on Commando. I remember it being trailered on Commando. I've never seen it, but it looked good.
Radio Sheffield. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for the information anyway, Roger.
Oh, there. This is the end of Nosh here.
Oh, no.
At least they don't kill him on screen though. They do it off
Well, yes,
screen.
he could have survived.
Nah, he's got no chance. He's got no chance against Henry Silva. He's like full of like angel dust.
Oh yeah,
Right?
PCP.
He is the Terminator in this movie, isn't he?
Is, yeah.
He really is. He's absolutely
Get out of there,
unbeatable.
Nosh.
He's a real frightening villain, and it's kind of sad because he's not. He's not. He has no sort of efficacy as a character. He's basically been used. His brother is clearly like, oh, here's some drugs. Go kill these people. You know, in a way, he's a kind of a tragic character, even though he's
a git.
He's evil as fuck.
Misunderstood,
Right.
He would be these days.
Yeah, it would be a different story. I think it's the 1980s of that whole Reagan era of like just say no. That it's like you're a drug addict and you are eliminated. And I think this movie is kind of part of that era because I think if that character exists now, or if you remade Sharky's Machine, he would get a chance of rehabilitation somewhere from his drug abuse. Whereas in this, it's just like, nah, you're a junkie. Fuck you.
I guess,
right? Right?
It's good how they use the PCP and he keeps going through it, because even though he's mortally wounded.
Yeah.
So it does make more sense than your average serial killer popping back up.
That's a good one. After Dark, My Sweet, Jason Patrick. What's the guy's name? The director? James Foley.
Sounds familiar.
Glenn Ross. That's a good film noir. It really is. Bruce Dern. That was a surprise, that one, because I remember hearing about it and going, oh, I'm not so sure, and I sat down and watched it, and I was I was well impressed. Yeah, After Dark, My Sweet is a really good movie. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Well done.
1986, I think Fortress released on VHS rental. There you go.
Yeah, same year as Commando, I would expect.
Yeah. Although probably 86, maybe 86 by the time I got to UK VHS. But let me see if I can make a note of After Dark.
I think this movie does it does kind of exemplify that kind of like this. You did not match my expectations. I have these expectations of you, and you're not what I expected. And this is fucking weird as well, where she finds all the photographs at his house.
Go to the phone down, he says.
Yeah.
She knows she can manipulate him now.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's when they have the actual love scene, you just kind of think she is just playing you, man.
Yeah, she is just lying there.
Right? Yeah, Sharky is a total cock, man. He totally is.
Right. Warm my fire up.
Oh, you cold out there? Yeah.
Although, we've still got 42 minutes. We'll see how it lasts. Otherwise, I'll nip indoors. It's all set up, so I can just swap over. But yeah, the fox has gone, hopefully. Here we go. So yeah. Because how old was she in this? And how old is Burt?
Burt's 46. He was 46 in 81.
Okay, I think she's probably
Same
a lot
age
younger.
as me now.
But you look better than he does.
Oh.
Unless you got a filter on.
No filter. I'm on filter.
But what was her name? Rachel Ward. What did I say? Oh, yeah, I did say 57. She was born. What did we say? 80.
Should be mid-20s, maybe 24 or something.
Yeah, something like that. That would be problematic these days. I met her husband, Brian Brown, on the Thornbirds. She, as a young starlet, she shared a house with fellow model actress Daryl Hannah. She's got 2 daughters and a son, bought with Brian Brown. Was voted one of the 10 most beautiful women in the United States in '83. Former model. She's the granddaughter of the 3rd Earl of Dudley. I don't think she's living in Australia, is she? Born on exactly the same date as Hans Zimmer. Ah, there you go. I forgot Daryl Hannah's in that thing.
Yeah, I see people talking about how like Burt roughs her up in this scene, and yeah, Sharky is not a hero; he's a protagonist.
Yeah,
and to see people getting upset with this film because of his behavior, and he's a protagonist. He's not a likable character, and I feel that Burt Reynolds is using his likability and toying with it. He's kind of messing with it. He's doing that on purpose. And but also there's a lot of frustration in this scene because not only she won't give up her pimp, right?
Yeah.
But also she is not what he expected. His sort of illusion that he's created in his mind has been shattered. So yeah, he takes it out on her. But he does stop. He does go, oh fuck, I'm going too fucking far here, right? And it's all done without dialogue. He doesn't need to explain himself. He doesn't need to go to the bar and talk to the bartender and tell him all this expositional dialogue. It's all done visually, and that's what I appreciate about it. It's like, if you're going to tell the story, do it with as minimal amount of dialogue as you can. And that's what Burt Reynolds does here. It's great. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I still don't understand why. Yeah, I guess maybe it was financially not a success, and he didn't want to do such similar things again, and that's why he went back to his comfort zone.
Well, not on the contrary, because his next film that he directed was Stick, right? And Stick was meant to be like Get Shorty. It was an Elmer Leonard novel.
Oh yes,
that was turned into a quirky crime caper, but the studio wanted it to be an action film. Right?
There's no action.
So when you saw this quirky crime caper, and if you watch the director's cut, it's a cute movie. It's not big and grandiose. It's very sort of low key. But then you watch the theatrical cut, it's full of action scenes that have been pasted in there.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they're totally pasted in there. It's terrible that way. And yeah, Stick is not as good as Shark in any form as good as Sharky's Machine, but it's not an embarrassment.
Yeah,
and the thing is, Elmore Leonard wrote the screenplay, and Burt Reynolds and him were pals, and he made the version that Elmore Leonard wanted to do, and then he showed it to Universal. Universal were like, no, we want more action. Here's $3 million. Go shoot action scenes. And Burt Reynolds had to go back and reshoot with $3 million, which is a lot of money in '84.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it's shit. I mean, I like Stick. I don't love it. I love Sharky's Machine, but Stick, it's
yeah. I guess Cannonball Run was number six that year, so 72 minutes made twice as much.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but there's a lot of good in Stick, and you can see he wasn't going for a film like Sharky's Machine. He was doing an adaptation of a novel, and Elmer Leonard fell out with him because he wouldn't fight the studios, and the problem was that Burt Reynolds was in no condition to fight with the studio. Yeah. Because of his injury on City Heat. He got injured on City Heat. He got his jaw broken, and he started taking this drug called Halcyon that eased the pain, and he was abusing it. He was taking it all the time, and eventually, basically shut the curtains. And he's like, that was it. He was not doing anything. And Stick, I would say, is the movie that is the downfall. That's the kind of movie where everything starts to fall apart for Burt Reynolds. Yeah, and it's a shame because it's not a bad movie. It's just it's got problems. it's got issues, but I like the director's cut. I think it's a cute, sort of low-key crime caper. But in the 80s, low-key crime capers were not the thing.
No.
They wanted big machine gun battles and shit, right?
Yeah, the Rambos and the Commandos came out.
Yeah, exactly. In 1985, this movie comes out and it's got no like machine gun battles. Then you're doing something wrong. But if it came out in 1996, if Stick came out in 1996,
Yes.
when Get Shorty came out, it would have been fine. It would have been like, oh, that cute, quirky crime caper. Because the crime capers were cool in the 90s, but they weren't cool in the 80s.
Because his paternity film was 39th of that year, only making half as much as this did. So...
Yeah, Paternity sucks though. I don't like that film at all. It's so dated. It is unbelievably dated as well.
I don't see anything for Clint that year.
See, here's the thing. Fuck, I had something really insightful to say, but I forgot.
It'll come back.
It will come back. In the next stream.
Yeah. It's the same year as The Great Muppet Caper, so capers were good in 80s. Was it 81? But yeah, where's Clint? Unless he did something really bad. Honky Tonk. Oh no, Honky Tonk Freeway, not Honky Tonk Man. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
But don't you agree that Sharky's Machine is kind of like the proto 80s action film? Even though it's not, I wouldn't say this is an action film. It's a neo-noir thriller, right? But it's kind of this, and then what you've got like 6 months later, you've got 48 hours, and it's just it's building onto what the 80s action genre is going to become.
Yeah,
this film has kind of still got one toe in the 70s and one toe in the 80s. It's not quite left the 70s yet, especially with Rachel Ward's hairstyle. That's for sure. But,
it's nice and big. It's definitely
a little bit Farrah Fawcett, yeah. And that Burt Reynolds is being so bashful here. He's so good at this when he's like acting all bashful, right? Even though he's just slapped this shit out of her like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and then
but you could argue she's a prostitute. That's the language she understands, right? I mean, what's her pimp gonna do? Right?
Yeah, she's not doing what she's told. Won't leave a bruise.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not making excuses for Sharky, right? But you know, he speaks the pimp language.
Roger thinks Burt's downfall came because he fell out of fashion and abused his audience goodwill, turning down an officer and gentleman for stroke race. I always call it stoke race, but it's stroke race. And Cannonball Run, yeah, that didn't do him any favors.
No, do you know what I think it is, right? I've remembered my point. It's Universal. You got to understand, Smokey and the Bandit made $250 million for Universal in 1977. It was second only to Star Wars, right? So, and it's weird that whenever you see a celebration of the films of Universal, whenever they do a centenary year or something, Smokey and the Bandit is never there. It's never included. You know, you have King Kong, you have all these other things that are associated with Universal, or I don't know, maybe not. That was RKO, but right. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like Jaws, for example. Jaws is like a badge of honor for Universal, isn't it? It's like Universal Jaws, right? You never see Smokey and the Bandit, even though Smokey and the Bandit was gigantic at the box office. And I think it's to do with the fact that Burt did not agree to do Smokey 3. I think they fucked him with Stick, because Stick was a Universal movie, right?
Right.
And they fucked him with that director's cut. His director's cut was a low-key Elmer Leonard's adaptation that looked like Get Shorty in the mid-80s, and they were like, no, here's $3 million, go make a shitter version of it, right? I think they did that because he didn't do Smokey 3. That's my theory. Yeah. There's no evidence. I've never read anything. I've never heard anything about Smokey 3, right, in any association. But I think the fact that he said no to Smokey 3 damaged his relationship with Universal.
It's not because we've got
I
the
think
Code of
so.
Silence, which is in '85.
And this is, I'm clutching at straws here, but I did see an interview with Burt Reynolds where it wasn't an interview, it was one of these Q&As that he did, and someone tried to bring up Smokey 3, and he just like kind of shot it down. He's like, I ain't fucking talking about Smokey and Bandit 3. Right? He just sort of like quashed that because I think there was definitely some controversy there with that film. The fact that they went, and I know we've discussed this before, the fact that they went to the length of having Jackie Gleason playing both parts shows how fucking desperate Universal were.
Yeah,
they must have had some bad conversations with Burt Reynolds before that. How they went from having the biggest, low budget movie of ever. When you think about it, I mean, it was like something like it's like $3-4 million Smoking Bandit cost.
It was like very low.
It was extremely low. I mean, Star Wars was like 15 mil in its day, right? Yeah, to be fair, it had to jump on everybody, but to go from that size of a budget is unheard of.
Yeah, because Stick was 96 of the year for 85. Right behind Secret Admirer and above Twice in a Lifetime. Only $8.5 million.
This is a cool scene, right? Where he's corners Victor and he's like, you're a piece of shit at the bottom of a commode and I've got the chain and I'm just going to pull, right? Right. But this is completely detrimental to him. It shows how dumb Sharky is that he just fucks himself by saying this. Because the next scene he gets fucking kidnapped and he gets his finger cut off.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's just threatened him out of his own ego. It's just like, yeah.
And
that's the thing. I think with the title, Sharky's Machine is not just a reference to his team of cops. It's also a reference to his ego. Sharky's Machine. I think that everything that he does is built out of his own ego. Like, even at the beginning with Highball Mary on the bus, right? He's got this guy on the bus, and he could just let the bus go. He says to the cop, he's like, give me 2 minutes. And then he goes into the bus. A guy gets shot on the bus, and the bus driver gets shot, right? If they just calm the fuck down and let him get away,
they can catch him later.
Then they would have probably stopped all that carnage. But no, Sharky's ego gets in the way and gets these people hurt. I mean, a guy gets shot at close range with a fucking 44 Magnum. It's insane, right? And his whole attitude towards this guy is his ego as well. He lets his ego take over. So I think Sharky's Machine is about the male ego. That's just my theory on it. And that's what I love about this movie. It doesn't tell you these things. It doesn't tell you nothing. It's all visual.
There you go.
And then the ninjas. He's got
ninjas, please. Sidney
Sheinberg hated Reynolds. A lot of people did.
Yeah, I guess in real life he had an ego as well. Right in the crib.
I reckon that he probably pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, right? He was the biggest star of the 70s, wasn't he?
No, I'm not. Yeah, he was in Smokey 3 as a cameo. Yeah, of course. But he turned down actually, working on the movie. That was like half a day's work, and he got something like a stupid amount of money for like half a day's work. Right, but I think the fact that he turned Universal down to do a third one as the marquee lead, I think they had a bit of a beef with him about it.
The movie has a great title, but I can't imagine the title helped its appeal to audiences. It's not exactly clear what's it going to be about from its title. That is true. I never knew.
What's the title of the novel, though?
Stupid novels.
What else would you call it?
Exactly.
The cock who didn't give a fuck.
Old. Now we know what it's about. But yeah, this is Smiley here, the bastard.
Yeah. This scene is brutal. It is absolutely fucking brutal.
Goes for his.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it goes into video nasty territory, and it's like this movie is out during the video nasties era, and no one gives a shit.
No.
Seriously, this is more.
Oh, the butterfly knife that's probably would have been edited out later. Someone said earlier. But yeah, all just one dark room, well lit.
But this copy's kind of a little bit more, more silhouetted, I would say. When you watch it on the Blu-ray, it's nasty as fuck.
Call it Fatal Instinct or something.
Fatal Instinct. I tried watching that one. I mean, what was the one he was in with Theresa Russell? Michael Crichton's last film as a director as well. What was it called? Fuck. Physical Evidence.
Which one?
Burt Reynolds' Physical Evidence.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks.
I haven't seen it.
That really fucking sucks.
What's the name? The blonde.
Yeah, Theresa Russell.
That's it. Yeah, as you said.
It's almost like a remake of Jagged Edge, except it really sucks. It's really bad. You know.
Spielberg is lauded at Universal Academy or because E.T. sealed the deal. Reynolds could have been a solid contender, but Whorehouse and Dolly Parton got in the way.
Whorehouse was a smash hit though. That was a big hit.
Yeah, I guess it's a good film. I do enjoy it. Oh, there you go.
Spielberg, it's funny that Spielberg turned down White Lightning, one of the classic Burt Reynolds movies. I love White Lightning.
I've only got Gator on VHS. Which
have you seen White Lightning?
I've seen them both. Yeah, but
yeah.
White Lightning is the good.
That car stunt. That's an amazing stunt when it's like a Burt Reynolds' car is on like a kind of it's like a raft or something, and the car jumps onto a raft that's moving. That's fucking great.
That was his first proper film director.
Hal Needham did that stunt, and he like broke his spine or something doing it,
and then still went to work the next day.
Oh yeah, just like
because who was it?
But it's an amazing stunt.
Yeah, I think Dick Warlock did the same. He broke his back or something, and still was doing stunts, just not as many. You think, Jesus?
They actually said to him on the set, they were like, you don't need to move the raft when you're jumping onto it. It doesn't need to be moving. You could just keep it still and you jump onto it. And he was like, no, I want it to be moving. I want the raft to be moving as I jump onto it. And he's right. He is right. When you watch that scene, it just looks better.
You would be able to tell.
If you imagine if the raft was just completely still, it wouldn't have the same effect.
Here we go.
The devil is in the detail, and that's the thing, stunt artists have that as well. The great ones. Yeah, this sequence is brilliant when he kills the guys on the boat. It's brutal as fuck.
Yeah, got the what's that gun?
Oh, is that mine? It's freezing up. Are we frozen? Hello? Oh no.
There we go. I'm back. Dropping internet.
Is it me or is it because the movie
I think it was
froze
me
as well?
Well, it must be the internet in my house went glitched.
Okay, I'm just going to take a quick piss. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Right. Oh, we've lost the film. Yeah, I didn't hear anything, so I got heavy headphones on, so I wouldn't be able to hear it. Yes, stunts are finally getting recognised by the Oscars. But I think, was it one of the stuntmen said it's, are they going to do, is it a group effort or is it going to be individual stunts or whatever? Because, yeah, it's a team effort. No, it was my internet. I don't think I can get the, hang on, let me see if I can get the TV back on. Because it's probably reset itself. Remote control, where are we? But yeah, we just as the action kicks in, he's got a ninja skewered, and we'll see. And then he kicks. I don't know if he kicks the spear through him, or he just kicks him off the boat. I know I can see the spear in him. Right. Let's see if I can bring this back online. Yeah, stunts getting recognition now. They don't really do any. Yeah, they CGI in the stunts. This with a green screen, don't they? I'll have this car here. I'll have this car crashing here. All right, let's see if I can bring my connection back up. I might be too far away. I'll wait till Terrence comes back. Oh, there you go. Yes, definitely watch this film. It's very good. After Payday, yes, you spent enough, Josh. What is it? It's only not even halfway through the month. But if you can afford a copy, because it's probably out of print. Here he is.
Well, Josh, you know, curb your enthusiasm with this movie. It's not an action movie. It's a kind of, it's a weird character-driven piece. But yeah, Sharky's Machine it's top class. What happened to it? Where'd it go? Oh, he's a way to fix it. Oh no. So I mean, I've got to take over. Let's have a look. I think that the 80s Hollywood just had a go-to guy for everything they needed. Muscles, Arnie, Everyman Hero, Young Buck, Tom Cruise, Agent Cop. Yeah. See, I don't know. 48 hours is hard to match, to be honest. I was watching it on Netflix the other day, the original 48 Hours, and I can't think of a cop thriller quite like it. It really is quite unique. You know, even though it was kind of the sort of proto-80s action film with Eddie Murphy in an action film and that kind of action, it was sort of proto-80s action comedy, but it just had such a harder edge. You know, there's a certain level of sort of toughness. Same with Sharky's Machine as well, where it's just like you feel the weight of someone being shot. You feel the weight of the cars screeching, which you don't get now. Now, action movies they don't really exist like they did. And I think in the 80s, where you got like Commando and Rambo, that kind of diluted it. You know?
Oh, it's getting cold now.
What happened to the video?
None of your business. I'm working on it.
YouTube shut it down because there was just way too much pornography. Again.
If I can get what did I watch? Hot Tub Scream Queen Hot Tub Party. I think we'll be all right with this. And Playmate of the Apes.
You watched Playmate of the Apes on here? Shocking.
I knew you were a connoisseur of fine films, but yeah.
Yes, the finest.
I got the DVD signed, so how about that? The director signed it. Yeah, checking the snares for foxes. He was a big lad when I saw him earlier. Right, but yes, Henry Silver is arguing with his brother. Yeah, the video is not.
Oh, with the scene where he's arguing with his brother.
Yeah,
which is kind of it kind of comes out of nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
they've not.
Yeah.
They've not really established them as characters together, and then all of a sudden you have this one scene that pretty much wraps everything up. Yeah,
and then Henry Silver's being the bitch.
Well, let me bring some visuals in, right?
Oh, okay, visual. Because Michael Myers wants us to do Caligula next.
Got to be sending these down to you at some point,
Oh,
Gareth.
no.
I just not been able to because I moved home, right? So I don't worry, I didn't throw out any tapes, I didn't sacrifice anything. But there's the original Killing Fields.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. Thorny Am I, big box.
That's
It's
a lot
not
more.
got the original plastic, but you know, it's the original cassette.
I don't want this rubbish.
Great movie. You gotta
Well,
love the Killing Fields.
I will
Right?
gladly pay the postage for you.
No, it's fine. I'll get it to you. And White Knights.
Ah, yes.
Say you, say me, you know. Got an Oscar
I remember seeing that in
for
the video shop.
best song. Lionel Richie. Yeah, great movie. And Freaked,
Of course.
the big box version of Freaked. I've got loads more, but just they're in a box over there.
Crazy.
I'll be sending them down to you at some point. What's been your most sort of surprising pickup? I haven't watched your channel. I'm so sorry, but
No,
what's one?
it's fine. I'm trying to think. What have I had recently?
I didn't even know you had Sharky's machine in this big box. Well done, man.
Well,
I
yes,
was
it's one of the originals. When I started collecting again, it was in a collection. So, this and
Nice
Carrie,
one.
I think. Oh, Carrie was the first big box I had, and then a few later, I got Sharky's machine. Probably thought, who gives a shit about this old rental? I probably thought. No, I can't connect. My TV machine is not working, so we'll just have to watch the shootout with description.
Oh yeah, I need to send that one down to you. We need to
You
do a
mean
watch
Dune?
party for that. We need to, when I send. I've said this to you before, but we need to do a watch party for that one. She's back.
Ah, yes. Who's it? Carrie
Carrie
Fisher.
Fisher.
Yes.
It's absolutely dreadful. Honestly, it's got to be. I'll clean up the box before I send it to you. It's Vestron. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's just so badly made as well. You know,
Surely
it's just,
not.
it is. Everything
Vestron
about
never
this
made a
film
bad
is
film.
pathetic. Like the look on her face on the cover.
Yeah,
that
that's not a good
says it
picture.
all. That says it all. Honestly,
Robert
you just
Joy
feel
from
like,
CSI.
why am I in this movie? Why am I watching? It's garbage. But it's the kind of it's like I'm intrigued by this garbage. How did it come to be? Right?
But yes, thank you. Right, so Michelle.
We're missing Dar Robinson. We're not going to see Dar. Oh,
Cat-fingered bastard.
We got fucking Bernie Casey's big scene.
Yep.
That's a great scene. That's the thing that's really interesting about Sharky's machine, the way that it juggles comedy. Because according to apparently the original screenplay that was based on the novel had none of that. That's just Burt Reynolds. Like he has to put comedy into this film, and it works. It's a bit of a weird juggling act.
Yeah,
it works.
Bernie Casey gets shot, but then it's not.
Yeah, and when he's like, Sharky, he just keeps coming back. I could not stop laughing at that bit, right? And it's asking you to. It's like, come on, laugh. This is funny.
Yeah,
even though it's like this is deadly serious, right? The guy's gonna like fucking die.
If Bernie Casey could shoot straight, it would have. Oh, Burt gets him though.
But here's the thing, right? You know, because earlier on he said that he disappeared when he had that. He said, "I tried to disappear." What's his face? Henry Silva like screams at him and points the gun at his head, right? And he doesn't shoot him. I think he disappeared. Right? Because he did that earlier when he shot through the door with the shotgun. I think that when he shoots, when he points at Bernie Casey's head, he vanishes. Even though he said, I tried to disappear. He says that to
yeah, you think, what?
Tried to disappear. And you're like, well, then it worked, didn't it? Because he could have blown your fucking head off, but he doesn't. He runs away. It's fucking insane. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't press any buttons right now.
Just don't get it too close. Don't want to get flagged.
If
No,
I
that's
just
fine. I think when you had it was perfect.
I did, yeah. I was gonna say if I just disappear into the sky because something's got me. Think well of me. So yeah, where are we? So, it's funny how it all go. I think it's on the same floor, or is it just a random floor they go up to? Yeah, they've got. What was his name? Keith.
Brian Keith, yeah.
Brian Keith. Yeah, I always confuse Brian
He
Keith
gets
and
killed
David and David
off
Keith.
screen as well. It's like the movie knows that you love these characters. You don't want to see them getting killed. And you don't know that for sure that Bernie Casey is dead, right?
No,
when the movie's over, you kind of think, hey, he survived.
He might be, yeah, he was still living when we left him.
He was a tough motherfucker.
He is. I was trying to think, because, yeah, it's one of those awkward, quick endings. Quick, happy ending, isn't it?
So far in the novel, there's no mention of the Zen Buddhist kind of shit that's in the movie.
Oh.
There was no with Bernie Casey's character Archie or Arch. They do mention that why he's in the Vice Squad, and it's because he wouldn't take any shit from anyone. Like he wouldn't kiss ass.
Yeah,
right.
That'll do it.
And it's interesting that there's a scene in the novel that's not in the film where just before Sharky gets demoted to Vice, he meets his sort of superior, who's called the Bat. He has this nickname, the Bat, because he's like a vampire, this character. Nobody likes him. And they have this nickname for him called the Bat. And he's like the boss of all the cops. And he's really kissing his ass. Like, I mean, like Sharky, when he's talking to him, he's like calling him sir. He's like, oh, sorry, sir. I didn't mean that, sir. Right? And so there is a sort of hierarchical kind of structure in the cops. And these guys don't kiss ass. There is like he points at him.
Yeah, like
and he does it twice.
Yeah, you think why isn't he shooting him?
He's like, why is he not shooting him? Because he's disappeared. Yeah,
I was expecting it a click at least.
Yeah, that's why. Because he actually said I tried when Sharky comes up to talk to him. He says I tried to disappear, and you did it because
he just run off.
He tried twice. He was like ah. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot going on in this film that's not explained to you. It's just you've got to kind of find it out for yourself, and I love that. But yeah, that thing in the novel really kind of drums it into you that there's a hierarchical kind of thing going on, not just with the cops, but also with prostitutes as well. It's like, you know, there's people at the top of the food chain and there's people at the bottom of the food chain. And that's kind of what the novel's about. And the movie, I think the movie captures that too.
Yeah.
You know?
That certainly does.
Because here they are, they're at the top of the world now, they're at the top of that tower, and Sharky is about to crack the case, you know, he's going to blow away the killer. And it's he actually says earlier on when he finds Victor dead and he's like beating him and he's like he's going to get stopped by some goddamn traffic cop. So he's more pissed off. He's not pissed off that he gets to kill this guy, but he doesn't want some traffic cop getting him. He wants to make sure that he gets him. You know, it's more about his ego. It's all about ego in this film. Seriously.
Yes. How many have died?
Yeah, and it's really Sharky's ego. Sharky's machine is not just the team; it's about his own ego.
And the same with this bit where Silver's going to kill himself, and Sharky has to shoot him.
Yeah.
I got you.
Regardless of all the people down in the street that he's going to land on, right?
Glass? Who gives a shit about Glass?
He starts to look like Dar Robinson.
Well, it's the sad thing is that Dar Robinson did this stunt coming up.
And they still put a dummy in at the end.
Yeah, they use the first 20 foot. It's not Robinson falling.
They do the same in Stick as well, and the same happens in Stick when they did, which they did a revolutionary fall in that, and they still put a fucking dummy in it in the last few seconds. You're like, why? And apparently he did it like 3 times. He actually did this fall 3 times.
Yeah,
and the building that you see in the film that he's fallen out of is a different building.
Yes.
It's in Atlanta. And it's still standing. Both those buildings are still standing in Atlanta. And it was a different building. It just had the same sort of structure of windows.
I guess that's like a window out and knock him out of it. It's a hell of a stunt if they.
I mean, like Billy Score, Henry Silva's character, he's about to kill himself. And he could just let him do it, right? But no, I want to fucking blow you away.
I want to blow you away and make you fall out of a window. It's not an iPad, it's a Samsung. No Apple in this house.
No.
But there he goes. Whee!
And then it cuts to the dummy.
And it's obvious dummy as well.
Yeah, and then it's
straight away, look, happy endings all round, playing on the swings in the park, in the school park next to his house. And you think, that's very quick.
Yeah. It wraps it up, it's over.
Yeah, you think there'd be something afterwards, like with
Dirty
Harry, the police turn up and then it's
there's no
a long shot away from that. It's not, if we do get a flying shot though.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that she's going to stick around.
I don't think so.
She might ride the swing for a couple of pushes, and then that's it.
She's a whore.
Yeah, she's a hooker. Yeah, but
He can't afford her lifestyle.
Absolutely brilliant.
But yes, we're traveling up in the
air. Dar Robinson did it like three times.
Buddy Joe Hooker's in this as well. Dar Robinson, Glenn Wilder, no relation. Here we go.
It's an amazing work. See the one he did for Stick, where he's actually falling backwards. And he's firing a gun, and that is a great stunt. To think nowadays you wouldn't even need to do that shit.
I know, it's sad, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it? And there's extras running about in the background as well to make sure we know it's not a fucking screen.
Yeah,
it's an amazing stunt.
Crazy.
I know. It's a shame. It's a shame we don't have that kind of craziness anymore. But yeah, so that was Sharky's Machine. Wow.
Sharky's Ego, we should call it. There you go. That's an easy one.
Sharky's Ego. Yeah.
2 assistants to Burt Reynolds. Assistant to Terry H. Liebing, whoever that was. Well, yes. If we ask nicely, Terrence might come back.
Oh. Don't need to ask nicely. I'll always be back.
Come back then, you fucker.
I'm always going to come back.
Excellent.
I don't need asking twice.
All right. I haven't done Nighthawks.
Oh, yeah. See, that's one of... See, if I had to say, Nighthawks is one of those great thrillers as well. And Black Rain. See, Black Rain with Michael Douglas. That's a really good one.
Well, we've got plenty to choose from then. It sticks on his roster, but they left a few too many frames in when you start to see the swivel.
Yeah. When he's just about to, because it was that cable on his leg. You can see what it's like.
That's that lousy HD. I'm sure the VHS is fine. Oh, here we go.
But then did they cut to a dummy as well?
We're heading back into the window.
Yeah. That's great. They go right back to that window.
Yeah. Right. There you go. So we've introduced at least 2 people to this film, so that's excellent.
Yeah, tell your friends. It's great. I like Malone. It's not great. It's cheesy. Like, I always find Burt Reynolds hard to take when he's got that fucking thing on his head, man. He's got a dead cat on.
Can't see the joy like mine.
Dead cat on his head. Not so bad when he's got a cowboy hat. If he's got a cowboy hat, then it hides it, right?
Yeah, it's a good shoot out at the end.
Cat on his head, it's hard to take him seriously.
It's not a canon film, though, is it?
It's not.
No.
But it feels like it when you watch it.
I don't know if it's if it was released in the UK as canon, because there's a few like Highlander and stuff like that have canon on them, don't they?
I do enjoy Malone. It's funny. The part when he's in the barber shop and he's like pretending he's got like a pistol behind the newspaper. You're kind of thinking, is that, or does he have a boner? You know, that's cool.
Yeah, the rug. Right, I'm freezing. I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah,
Terrence has got better things to do with this Friday evening as well.
Oh, it was really nice hanging out with Gareth and everybody.
It's nice to have you back.
Dr. Impossible, my man. So good to see you.
Yeah, they all came to see you, not me, so that's fine.
Oh.
Oh yes, Sean Connery had always the best hair pieces since what?
Hunt for the Red October is just a classic film,
October.
Man. It's brilliant. It's of all the Jack Ryan movies, that's the best one. Sorry.
As well.
I know.
Well, it is technically the best one, yeah. I do like the others. Oh. You can't leave us with that. Well, he punched them.
Well, here's one thing that he did. You might not know this. The National Enquirer were always writing shit about Burt Reynolds, and he paid to get a helicopter to fly up to their building, right? Where they had a Christmas tree. The National Enquirer had a giant Christmas tree outside their building, and he got a helicopter to fly up and dump fucking horse manure right on their Christmas tree. That's true, by the way. He actually did that.
Nice.
Because they would write so much bullshit about him. So
well, yeah, all I remember is even we didn't have the National Enquirer here, and I remember all the headlines about it. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Ovaltine, yes, that'll do it. Good old Ovaltine. We are the Ovaltinies, right? So we'll say goodnight, and Terrence will be back. He says.
Oh yes, but like the Terminator.
Stay with us, Terrence. We'll be back after this intro.
Bye.
Ciao, Constable.
Ciao?
Ciao. That's a familiar Italian expression meaning goodbye.